Hello, hello. Okay, I know notifications are going out and you're realizing that your sister is on. Yes, happy Saturday to you. I wanted to come on here earlier. Oh, but Lord knows plans, right? Anywho, the girl's on here and I'm just so excited and elated because it's day number 7. Yes. Day number 7 of 21 days of prayer and fasting. And I know you guys can agree this fast has been, it's one for the books. We all know that. We know that this fast is one for the books. And as you guys can see, I am in my car. I had every intention to do it this morning. But when I tell you everything has been hitting your sister this morning, but I was not going to allow nothing else to keep me from coming on live. I'm actually sitting here in my car as they change my tires because I had to come and get new tires. You guys know how that is. But anyway, so we are coming from a book, an amazing book, and I don't have anything out right now, but you guys know. For some of you, you know it, but if not, I'm going to introduce you to it. It's called The God Wink Effect. The 7 secrets to signs, wonders, and answered prayers. And when I tell you this book has been absolutely amazing, it is actually the follow up from the book that we read in August about 40 days of partner prayer and the power in joining with one another and praying over the cares and concerns of each other. And when I tell you this book has been amazing in describing what God winks are all about and sharing the secrets. We know the number 1 secret is prayer, and now we're on number 2, which is ask. When we talked on yesterday, we found out it's all you got to do is ask. Ask. If you ask not, you have not. And we were able to find in a story with a young man, well, actually a little boy, remembering what his grandmother said to him pertaining to some cookies. And today we're talking about Mary, this lady named Mary, who obviously was a nice, a beautiful woman, married to her husband for 57 years. Wow. 6 children, lived in Long Island, was the epitome of a great mom, and a God-fearing woman as well. And so she shared how, because she didn't drive, she never driven a car, she always relied on her husband and her children to take her somewhere. So she had this amazing idea. She was craving ice cream on one Saturday. We all have had that. And so she went to her husband and said, honey, I have a great idea. Tonight, let's go for a drive and let's go get some ice cream. And he looked up at her, dirt all over him, like, woman, are you crazy? When I get done out of this yard, I'm not going to be thinking about no ice cream. But she was like, come on, honey, you know us women. We'll do everything we can to convince, right? And so he was like, no, I'm not budging. I'm not going to feel up to it. So no. So in that moment, standing there in the backyard, she just looked up to the sky and she was just like, if I had my own money, if I had me a car, I'll go get my own ice cream. And in that moment, without her completing a blink, there was $20 floating down into the palm of her hand. And I know you like, come on, sis, $20? Yes, $20. As she looked around, there was not another building in sight. There was no cars driving by to try to make sense of how in the world this $20 just flew, in my vicinity. And she just knew right then and there because she asked. She asked God. She just said it. Lord, if I had my own. Well, God provided. God provided. It's those little small God winks that we tend to overlook or not pay attention to or think that, because it's so small, that it's a car or that it's ice cream. Oh, God doesn't have time to deal with that. That's not the truth. No, it's not. God's like, even ice cream, even something small as ice cream concerns me. Even ice cream. I also went to a story after reading Mary's. There was a woman named Fran. Fran also lived in New York. and it started telling about her story. Mom or two kids, husband worked down in Manhattan, and on this fateful day, dropping off her kids with two of her other friends. And they have this routine when they, take their kids to school. They always meet up at the coffee shop at the World Trade Center. Well, this particular time, one of the ladies saw a lady that she went to school with years ago, and they stopped and caught up. So that means that Fran stopped too to introduce, and you know how we, start talking or what have you. And in this moment in time of being delayed going to the coffee shop, there was actually a tragedy taking place just blocks from her. And we all know on this great fateful day, 9/11, what took place. And so as they saw this plane, the first plane slam into the World Trade Center, this when, reality started to set in. And in that moment, she began to run back to her children's school, go get their kids, and went to a safe place. Called her husband, who lived, not worked blocks away from the Trade Center. And long story short, they were able to talk for only a few seconds before, as we know, the communication lines went down. So in that moment, she went to run for her life. I'm just praying and asking God, keep my children safe, keep my husband safe, keep me safe. And as she was running, she remembered, because she had to pause for a second because girlfriend had on some wedge sandals. And she thought to herself, now I remember this morning getting dressed and I put these sandals on. I had an inkling to change the shoes and wear something comfortable. Can we say that she missed a God wink? Now, how many of us can sit back and say that we've done the same exact thing? Well, we've been nudged to do something and we totally didn't do it. And so it was neat. It was amazing. No more than neat, because that's diluting it. It was amazing to read that part and just have a moment of saying, I've done that too, friend. You're not alone. So, fast forward, her kids are safe, husband safe. And as years go by, they raise some amazing children. They actually end up changing career paths because of 9/11. God still kept them, and they had amazing favor, to the point where they started their own business, a business where they were able to work from home. And actually, because they were able to work from home, even uproot from one place to another. Their son grew up and chose a college in Tulsa. And because they wanted to be close to their son, they want to be, a tight family, they uprooted in New York and moved to Tulsa as well. And in that time, in that moment, Fran also found out that she had cancer. In the meantime of finding out she had cancer, she found out that it was an aggressive cancer. And so hearing this, devastated and just like, okay, God, what is going on? Me? Cancer? Really? Well, really wrestling with the diagnosis. One fateful morning, because Fran is a runner, she took her daughter running with her, Sarah. And so her and Sarah began to run. And as she was running with her daughter, that was the moment that she shared with Sarah what the doctors had stated. And in the meantime of them running, they came to a traffic light. So they're running in place. And Sarah looks up and says, Mom, look. And as Fran lifted her head, there was a billboard that talked about second opinions. And it was an advertisement for the Cancer Center of America. And so Fran immediately contacted her husband Brian, told him to reach out to them, see if insurance, their insurance will take it so she can make an appointment. Well, come to find out later that day, Brian called her and let her know, listen, babe, they don't take our insurance. Fran became totally devastated. She's like, really, Lord? I'm told I can die any day now. And when I need to get into a place, I don't have access. I can't get there. So Fran became really down. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Hey, how are you? Good, good, good. Okay. So as Fran began to be a little bit devastated, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all walk with me because I need to pay for my tires. And she became very devastated at what was going on. I'll be back, babe. She felt really down and had every plans to go to church that day. And go listen to a minister from India that was there encouraging, excuse me guys for the noise, encourage people and stuff. And so she went over there, finally went to church, her and her husband, and in going, amazing message. And in the midst of it, they were about to leave, and the senior pastor of their church had an inkling inside of him, which he said normally after any service like that, he will leave, right on out. And so instead, he was drawn to a couple, and he went over there to them. And in the midst of him coming, Brian, Fran's husband, engaged the senior pastor, Zach. And Zach, him and Zach began to talk. And as Brian was introducing themselves and everything, Brian asked the senior pastor, hey, what occupation do you work in besides just being a pastor? Okay.
7, 8, 9, 40.
Mm-hmm.
40, 60, 80, 100.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, you guys. Give me a second. So, in the midst of all of that, thank you. In the midst of all of that, Zach turned around and let it be known that, oh, he still got me jacked up. Hey. I love these people. So, so I'm good to go? I'm good to go? Okay, thanks. So in the meantime, Zach told him, yes, you know what? I actually am the vice president over the cancer center of America in oncology. And the moment he said that, Fran began to weep. And when I got to that part of it, you guys, I must be honest with you, I began to weep as well. Because I was saying to myself, Lord God, you love us so much that you will go above and beyond to get us exactly where we need to be and in the company of people. And I was just overtaken because I knew then what God was about to do. And so as Fran was trying to get the words together, just sobbing in gratefulness to God for just getting her and putting her in the right place at the right time, even when she wanted to talk herself out of it, out of going to church that fateful night, Zach turned to them and said, I want to see you in my office tomorrow morning. We're going to look at the insurance and we're just going to figure it out. And when I tell you, within months, Fran had surgery, she had her treatment plan, and was cancer free within 6 months later. 12 weeks, excuse me, 12 weeks later, she was up running a marathon all over again. Now, I don't know about you, but even in the midst of me doing this video right here, and no matter how imperfect it may be for me, because I like to be in a space where it's quiet and where you guys are able to hear me and I can engage, and that I wanted to choose the right time because it's 11:33 and no one is really watching me live right now. But I know that there's somebody that God is going to bring to this video after the fact, that God is going to be using this video as a God wink to be able to let somebody know that He is here for you, that He hears your concerns, that He knows the desires because you have asked Him, and He's letting you know that He will never walk away from what He said to you. So I pray that if you have not subscribed to my channel, that you will subscribe, and just don't subscribe. Click that bell button right there, that bell right next. Yeah, click that right there. So when I come on, you can get the notifications and know when your girl is on. Listen, I love you and know that God loves you so much more. And I'm just happy and elated because God is using this video. He's going to use this video as a God wink to be able to bless someone and let them know how much He loves you. Well, tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, I will be right here, no matter what, for coffee break.